Hey, it's Chris Beyer.
Good morning. It's Chris Bowling. How are you, CB?
Doing well. We've got a great guest, Rick Klinedinst from MidAmerica National Bank. Rick, we wanted to get a chance to ask you a few questions on who you are and your background at MidAmerica. And I know we're celebrating a milestone for the bank. So go ahead and give us a little bit of your background and your time with MidAmerica National Bank.
Yes, good morning, gents. Thank you for having me this morning. Yeah, my name is Rick Klinedinst. I'm the president and CEO of MidAmerica National Bank, and here in Canton, Illinois, and been with the organization for 45 years now. Actually started a month before I turned 16. I lost my father when I was 15 to a tragic in an accident, and I was a paper boy at the time, and my neighbor was Wilbur Meadows. He was the president of the bank, and he'd asked me if I wanted to come to work for him and become a banker. So, I said, sure. So worked here. He kind of took me under his arm. I was kind of the son he never had, and he taught me to be a banker, and he kind of became my surrogate father.
Wow.
So worked here part-time through high school. I started out as a coin boy. I'd come in after school and wrap coin and run errands, take the mail over, that type of thing. And then through college, started learning some of the other departments and then went full-time after I graduated from Western Illinois University, and worked in about the department in the bank, and then became president and CEO in 2010. So
what a great story.
That is an awesome story. Do you envision that? I mean, your neighbor was the president at the time. When you started, would you have ever thought you would be stepping into that role?
No, I did not. Probably shortly after graduating, I kind of started thinking, what my career was going to be like, because I really wanted to be an architect. I didn't want to be a banker, but I actually went to college to be an architect, but still worked here in the banking industry.
Yeah.
And that was back in 80, 81. And, the industry, the housing market and everything started falling apart. So I switched my career to business, and I decided I was going to become a banker. And probably, I figured at that point I wanted to be the president and CEO of a bank sometime in the future.
Yes.
I was hoping it would be this bank, but with Wilbur Meadows here, back then you didn't know how long someone was going to work, that type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it was quite an honor to be named as the president and CEO here of the bank.
Wow.
Well, and we've seen the bank grow significantly, both in employees and assets, but also locations.
Mm-hmm.
So you're celebrating your 90th anniversary as the organization here in 2023. So I was going to say, what's made MidAmerica unique, and how have you grown in the past 90 years? If you go back to the beginning.
Sure. 90 years is, pretty phenomenal. It doesn't just happen by chance. It takes, hard work, dedication by a group of people, and foresight as well. And, we're the oldest for-profit business in Canton, and we really celebrate our heritage. We celebrate those people who've come before us and got us to where we are today, and we make sure that we recognize those individuals on a regular basis. And they're our advocates. They're the ones that are out there, advertising and word of mouth and that. So we're pretty proud of our heritage, and we have a pretty diverse shareholder base. We're privately held. We're not family owned. Widely held.
Yes.
And we have about 400 and some shareholders, and a lot of it's interesting that a lot of those shareholders today, their roots still go back to 1933 when our bank was formed.
Wow. That's so cool to hear. Wow.
And there's where I think we're in the third generation of owners of those individuals. But
wow.
Yeah, so it is very unique, and especially for Canton, and the history there with that. But I had a thought there I was going to share, but that passed me by. But so uniqueness, I think that's what makes us unique in the community is being here for 90 years, and that heritage.
For sure.
The people who've formed Canton, formed our bank. And I was going to tell you, you have National Bank of Canton is that was our name when we were formed.
The original, okay.
And then in 2000, we started expanding out into Macomb and Peoria, Moline, the Quad Cities, Bloomington, and National Bank of Canton just didn't quite work. So we updated our name to MidAmerica National Bank. It makes us sound a little bit bigger than what we really are, but we're just a community bank that we wanted to be unique in those towns as well, not have an identity in one particular location. But
yeah, I know with your new headquarters in Canton, beautiful building, but you talk about the history. I mean, we love seeing all the old photos and the history of Canton, the history of the bank. I mean, you've got the wall of all the presidents, with you now leading the organization. So yeah, you've done a really good job honoring that past.
Yeah, we had moved to the location here in 1969, and we outlived that building, so we built this one in 2001, and we tried to keep the heritage, the history of Canton alive in the building, but also bring in the new modern aspects of it. So our committee did a great job with that. I commend them for their foresight on that.
Yes. How many states?
So Rick, go ahead, Chris.
How many states is the bank currently located in? You're in obviously Illinois and Missouri.
We're just in Illinois. Like I said, we sound larger than what we are, but we're in Canton here, of course, and we're in Macomb, Cuba, Lewistown, two small towns in Fulton County, and then we're in Henry.
Okay.
Up north a little bit. So now we're just located here in Illinois.
Okay.
So I would ask the question then too, as you look ahead for the next 90 years, what do you see on the horizon for the bank? I mean, you're going to be transitioning to leadership, and you've got a tremendous group behind you when that time comes for you to retire. But what do you see in the next 90 years?
More of the same. I see a lot of success, a lot of growth, and like you said, we got a great succession plan. The next generation, they're ready to take over when us oldies retire, and that's coming soon for many of us. But they're ready to go, and they're very unique. And what's unique about internally here is we do home grow our successors. We don't attract people from out of the area. We home grow those individuals that's been here in Canton and Macomb in our locations, and we've been doing that for 3-4 years, and like I said, they're ready to go. And we also we've introduced core values, which has been tremendous to set our culture, and that's helped us attract and retain our employees. We have very little turnover. But I'll give you guys a plug. We always look for that life balance aspect for our employees, and we also look at ways of improving their benefits, and again for retention but attraction. And one of our better strategic moves we made in the last couple of years is with Assured Partners.
Well, thank you. We appreciate
a lot to the table. You really enhanced our employee benefits, and our employees are very grateful for that.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Well, Chris, as we're wrapping up, you've got a question you like to ask as we finish up our In Focus interviews. So I'll let you ask the last one for Rick.
So Rick, in your professional and personal life, do you have a motto that kind of gets you, or a phrase or something that gets you through those horrible long days or long weeks? Is there something that keeps you grounded?
Well, it gets me through those long, hard days is my faith, of course. One of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln is, "I had nowhere else to go but to my knees." And, my faith has got me through that. But, I go back to what my mother and father taught me is, treat others like you want to be treated. So kind of the golden rule is how I live my life. And, that's what I try to do. So
that's amazing. No, that's probably one of my favorites so far, Rick. So well done.
Yes, absolutely. Well, congratulations again on your long career, the journey you've had also on MidAmerica's 90th anniversary. Those two great things to celebrate. We appreciate you being on In Focus with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate our partnership.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.